Hello, Kim 107. I wanted to welcome you to the course and let you get to know me a little bit. So this is Kim 107 with Dr. Kim Smith, but everyone calls me Dr. Kim. So I got my bachelor's in science in chemistry from Texas Tech University. I then got my master's degree in chemical education, also from Texas Tech University, because I knew I wanted to teach chemistry at that point. I also knew I wanted to teach at the college level, and that usually requires a PhD. So after living 1 year in Russia, I kind of took a break and lived in St. Petersburg in Russia for a year. I came back to Indiana and went to Purdue University and got my PhD in inorganic chemistry and chemical education, both, so I could be a professor. My hobbies are dog and cat rescue, the Diamondbacks, going to concerts and the ballet when the pandemic's over. I like to do animal charity work. I like to watch action and sci-fi movies and TV. And I like to go to Comic-Con, again, which we can't do some of those things now because of COVID, but eventually we'll get back to doing fun stuff like that. So I grew up in Lubbock, Texas. That's where Texas Tech University is. I also used to ballroom, country, and swing dance until I hurt my back. And like I said, I lived in Russia for a year, which was very interesting. I had a great time. It was lovely. To put myself through college, I was a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard for actually 21 years. And I quit counting after I pulled 150 drowning people out of a pool. I lost count. I play the piano. I've always wanted to teach. I taught piano, taught music theory. I trained lifeguards. I taught swimming lessons. I taught CPR and first aid. I'm a big sci-fi geek, and I fostered over 200 pets and found them homes. These are my children. They don't speak very well. They walk on four legs, and they're kind of hairy, but I love them just the same. These are some pictures of me back in the day doing some competitive dancing. And the next picture is really funny. Here's some big hair for Texas. Yay for giant hair from the 90s. Big hair. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? So there's some big hair. So there's some embarrassing pictures for you, so you don't have to go Google them. You already have them. You're welcome. All right, now let's talk about Kim 107. This class is a safe space. Even though we're online, it's safe. Diversity is welcome here. Respect is mandatory. Everyone here is equal, and all of you matter to me. If you need help, please let me know, or a counselor. For example, if you're kind of feeling lonely or uninvolved, or you're having a hard time with the pandemic, we're here to help you, and we have counselors you can talk to. So if you have some issues like that, please let me or a counselor or someone at Glendale Community College know, because we want to help you. So about Kim 107, is it easy? Is it hard? Is there a lot of math? First of all, it is chemistry. So we're going to learn chemistry, but we're also going to learn a lot about the environment. So I would say it's kind of medium for a science class. Actually, for a science class, it's probably on the easy side, assuming science classes generally are hard. There's not a lot of math in this class. We're not going to do algebra, just a tiny bit of, simple algebra like dividing and multiplying, nothing really big. Addition, subtraction, really nothing big. There is no math prerequisite. We have a wide variety of students in this class. So you are taking this class probably to count as your science with a lab, which means you need to be involved in the lab, which is a separate course. So enroll if you haven't. But you could be a business major, a computer science major, a dance major, art major, photography major. What this won't count is if you're a science major, then this won't count for you, except for an elective. But if you are a nursing major, you need to be in Kim 130. And if you're a science major, you need to eventually take Kim 151 and 152. But this is for non-science majors. And yes, it counts as your science with lab course if you are enrolled in the separate lab. So I encourage you to look and read your syllabus, which is in Canvas, very carefully. Look at everything in Canvas. The modules is where all the information is. And we'll have 10 modules total. I will bring those online as they're ready. I think you're going to start with probably 2 modules from the beginning that I have ready for you. I'll get those ready as time goes by. If you've never really had to study before, you probably will now. You'll probably need to spend 3 to 6 hours per week on this course watching videos and studying. How do you study chemistry? It's recommended to study like 30 minutes at a time, several times a week. First, go over the chapter text. The text was written by me. It's short, sweet, to the point. If you can, I'd print it if you have a printer, and then you can write on the chapter as you watch the videos and take extra notes. So that's a plan if you have access to a printer. Go ahead and print your chapters. There's 10 chapters. They're pretty short. So go over the text. Then watch all the videos. So the videos are usually 5 to 10 minutes long. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 per chapter. You need to watch all the videos because that's your lecture since we're not in person, since we're online. You need to try the practice problems at the end of the chapter. So that'll let you kind of know what type of questions I'm going to ask you on quizzes and exams. Reread the text as necessary. Before an exam or a quiz, put everything away and give yourself 30 minutes of rest. Don't study right up until you take the quiz or exam. That's actually bad. So give your brain a 30-minute chemistry break before you actually take an exam or a quiz. Previous student advice. Keep up and study each week. Don't get behind, especially online. Don't get behind. Study for the quizzes and exams. We have a quiz over every chapter. There's 10 chapters. We have a midterm and a final for exams, so 2 big exams. Go over the chapter text carefully. Don't cheat. Okay, for quizzes and exams, if you leave the browser window, it'll tell me and it's a 0. So once you start taking that Canvas quiz or exam, you cannot click away. Do ask and email questions. You can Canvas message me or email me. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just get all your questions answered. Your to-do list. Read the syllabus carefully, all of it. Read your textbook chapter 1 or print it again. Printing it's ideal if you can. Look over Canvas materials in the modules. Get a simple calculator. You don't need a fancy one, just a simple calculator. You're going to have a periodic table and a shapes table. Those do need to be printed out. So somehow you got to manage to print out those 2 pieces of paper minimally. Message me with all your questions. And again, check into lab. If you're not enrolled in lab, okay, you need to be in a lab. Here's pictures of some calculators that work, but they don't need to be this fancy. The calculator that came with a checkbook would work. So it doesn't need to do logarithms and stuff like that. So just a simple calculator will work. These will work, but they're overkill as it is. Chem 107 rules. Your midterm and final are open note, of course, because I can't prevent that. But you have to use the 107 periodic table and shapes table, not other tables, because the numbers could be a little bit different and then you could get it wrong. So make sure you use the official 107 periodic table and shapes table. Again, you can't check out of an exam or quiz and Google something because I'll know you clicked out and it's a 0. So you have to stay in your Canvas quiz and exam or the log will show me you clicked away, which is a 0. Now for activities, you can click away, of course, but not quizzes or exams. Exams are timed. They're quick, so you can't look everything up. You'll run out of time. So that's why you have to study, because you're not going to have time to look everything up in your notes. Exam tips. Again, they're timed, so you need to work quickly. You need to practice problems from the end of the chapter over and over again so you get used to answering these questions and it'll increase your speed. I only show 1 question at a time, so you need to answer that questions and move forward. You can't go backwards. Take deep breaths and keep track of the time when you're taking your midterm and your final. So good luck. Message or email me with questions. I will communicate with the class in announcements. So make sure you set up your notifications that your announcements will pop up as soon as you log into Canvas. You want to see those announcements. Don't forget to participate in discussions. So we're going to have quizzes for every chapter, a midterm and a final. We're going to have some activities to do. We're going to have discussions, and you're going to have some projects. I'll probably make another video or a Zoom about the projects. I may periodically schedule a Zoom just for us to check in with each other, but I don't have one scheduled like regularly. We'll Zoom as needed. And if you need to Zoom with me individually, we can do that as well. But I may every other week or so have a Zoom session for you to answer your questions about any of the assignments we have. But don't forget to do the discussion question. There's going to be a discussion on every chapter as well. Okay, so that's really all I have for right now. Just wanted to let you know a little bit about me, a little bit about the course. Again, read that syllabus, look all over Canvas. And I hope you have a good semester. Watch the videos. That's your lectures. I'm still recording some of them right now. So watch those videos. Good luck. Bye, 107.